Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, reshaped the way we understand the human mind, pushing the boundaries of psychological exploration. His contributions were profound, but perhaps one of his most groundbreaking insights was the concept of the shadow, the hidden, often denied aspects of our personality. In contrast to conventional psychological models that focus primarily on the conscious mind, Jung insisted that the unconscious holds powerful forces that shape our behavior, thoughts, and emotions. This exploration of the dark side of the psyche, which many avoid or fear, is essential for achieving true psychological wholeness. By acknowledging and integrating this dark side, we do not merely become better individuals, we become more authentic, more complete human beings. Jung's exploration of the unconscious was not just about understanding mental illness or disorders. He saw the unconscious as a source of wisdom, creativity, and insight that could propel us toward greater self-awareness. The unconscious was not something to fear, but something to explore, understand, and accept. By confronting it, Jung argued, we could bring ourselves into a state of psychic wholeness, a state where our conscious and unconscious selves are harmonized. One of the central aspects of this journey toward wholeness involves accepting the shadow, those aspects of ourselves we have repressed, denied, or are simply too uncomfortable to confront. In modern society, there is a tendency to celebrate only the good parts of life. Social media, consumer culture, and even social interactions often present an idealized image of life where happiness, success, and positivity dominate. While this may seem beneficial on the surface, Jung saw this as a dangerous distortion of reality. It fosters a one-sided view of the world that overlooks the complexities and struggles inherent in the human experience. Life is, indeed, a mixture of joy and sorrow, light and dark, and by focusing exclusively on the light, we ignore the darker, more challenging parts of life. Jung warned that this tendency to repress the darker aspects of ourselves leads to psychological imbalance. The persona, a concept he developed, is a social mask we wear to meet society's expectations and to be accepted by others. The persona is not the true self. It is a role that we play, often at the expense of our mental health. Over time, this false self becomes more rigid and more detached from our real feelings and desires. The longer we maintain this mask, the more disconnected we become from our true selves. This internal conflict, Jung noted, can lead to what is known as an existential crisis, a moment when we realize that the life we've been living is not our own. It can feel like a profound loss of meaning, and it's often at this point that people begin searching for a deeper understanding of themselves. But Jung offered a solution: authenticity. To break free from the constraints of the persona, we must embrace our true selves, shadow and all. To live authentically means to live in a way that reflects our true nature, including the parts of us that we are not proud of or wish to hide. Jung believed that by confronting these repressed aspects, we could experience personal transformation, evolving toward a more integrated, holistic self. The shadow is one of Jung's most famous concepts. It refers to the unconscious parts of our personality that we reject or suppress because they do not fit into the idealized image we have of ourselves. The shadow contains all the traits, impulses, and emotions that we deny or find socially unacceptable. It includes everything we are unwilling to acknowledge about ourselves: the anger we try to ignore, the greed we refuse to accept, the insecurities we hide from others. But these dark aspects are not inherently evil. Rather, they are a natural part of being human. Jung argued that the shadow is not an external force. It is a part of us. It follows us throughout our lives, both literally and metaphorically. It is with us at all times, even when we try to ignore or suppress it. Jung believed that to go against the shadow was to go against ourselves. We all have vices, flaws, and habits, We know deep down we need to change. These are the things we're not proud of, the things we hide from others, or even from ourselves. They linger in the back of our minds, reminding us that we're not living up to our full potential. Every time we fall back into them, we experience that nagging sense of guilt, frustration, and disappointment. We feel stuck, trapped in a cycle of failure and self-doubt. The habits we know are unhealthy, unproductive, or damaging to our well-being, yet we can't seem to shake them. It feels as if these vices have become part of who we are, like we're chained to them, unable to move forward. We tell ourselves, this year will be different. The new year comes, and we feel this overwhelming surge of hope and determination. It's as if the turning of the calendar gives us permission to start fresh, to shed our old selves and emerge as the people we know we could be. We set resolutions, make plans, and create lists of goals that we're absolutely certain we'll achieve. This time, we think, we'll finally break those bad habits. We'll lose the weight, quit smoking, stop procrastinating, eliminate the distractions, and start investing in our future. We envision a new version of ourselves, more disciplined, more productive, more successful, and for a moment, it feels like we're on the cusp of something great. But then something happens. Life happens. The initial excitement wears off, and the challenges begin to creep in. The old habits reemerge. The temptation is strong. The stress builds. The excuses come flooding in. It's too hard. I'm too tired. I'll just take one more day off. And before long, we're right back where we started. The resolutions, the goals, the promises we made to ourselves have become distant memories, and we're left wondering how we got here again. In those moments, we often ask ourselves, why can't I change? Why is this so hard? We feel like failures, like we can't trust ourselves, like we're not capable of keeping our commitments. The frustration builds. The disappointment sets in. We start to think that maybe this is just who we are, that we're somehow fundamentally flawed, that change is something that happens to other people, not to us. But here's the thing, this struggle isn't unique to you. Every single person has faced it. We're all battling our own inner demons, our own bad habits, our own tendencies to procrastinate, to give in to instant gratification, to avoid discomfort. Even the people we admire, the ones who seem to have it all together, have gone through this same process. They've wrestled with their own vices, their own doubts, their own temptations. They've failed. They felt defeated. But they didn't let it stop them. They didn't let those moments of failure define them. They got back up. They kept going. And that's why they succeeded. They realized that change isn't about being perfect. It's about persistence. It's about continuing to move forward, even when things don't go as planned. The hard truth is that change is not easy. We often think of change as something that happens in a moment of inspiration or motivation, as if one decision or one event will be enough to transform our lives. But real lasting change is a process. It requires effort, discipline, and patience. It's about consistently showing up day after day, even when it feels like nothing is changing. It's about doing the work when you don't feel like it, staying committed to your goals even when the path is difficult, and learning to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth. The philosopher Seneca, known for his wisdom on self-discipline and overcoming adversity, once wrote, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today." We spend so much time waiting for the perfect moment, for the right conditions, for the right mindset, that we end up losing the present moment. We delay our dreams, putting them off for a time when things are easier or when we feel more motivated.